what's going on, guys? I'm the Collector, and today is episode 2 of building Exegol in Lego. Now, in last week's episode, what we did was build the entire floor of the base, and then this week we built the stands, so I think it's a very fun episode. I used a lot of interesting techniques. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, what I have to do right now is I have to fill in the rest of this with the gray, just so I don't have all this open area. I want to fill all this in, so then I can start working on these stands, which, once we finish this, I will take out all of these right here, so we can fill it in with tiles, and then we can adjust the stands to the angle we want them at. And I will probably turn the camera back on when I finish filling in the rest of the gray, and then we will start on the process of working on these stands. So, now that that is done, I need to remove all of these now, so I can then put in the jumper plates, and then we can start adjusting the stands on where we want them. I'm leaving this open right now because I don't know what angle I'm going to want to have the stands sit at, so I want to be able to have some leniency on what direction it's facing. So here's the general sketch-up I made of what these stands will look like. This is like the bottom front of it, so it'll lay just like this on the build. Not exactly like that. I have to make some adjustments to cover up the patches of open gray area, but this is the general landscape of what you will see. It's basically just composed up of many different slopes like this, and then reaching down an angle over here. I will have to adjust this because I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible, but it's going to be just like this, and then one stud up is going to be where these stands start. So this will lay one stud down, so it'll be on the level of these the bricks that hold the structure up. So this part will be even with this ground part. So it should have should stand out a little bit like that, but I think it'll look really cool. And then I have to sketch up what the stand will actually look like on the slope. And there will be a side over here where these stands are just at a slight angle, just to give it a better look and not have it all just one line. So here is the design I've come up with so far. So if I can just show you, so they're connected by these jumper plates, these 2x2 jumper plates on each end, and just on the corners they attach. It sits at an angle. You can see that if I zoom out here. Basically how it's held up is it's one stud above the actual surface, and it's held up by these tiles. I'm going to put a lot more in here. These are just, placeholders for now. They just hold the structure up, so if I press on it doesn't break or anything, because you can see the whole thing is attached by these 1x2 plates. So that is what I've come up with so far. I'm going to do a lot more work because I then have to fill in the gaps between where the surface is and where the stands start, and I have to figure some way to make that flush. Don't show the jumper plates on either side, so we have to do that, but it looks really good so far. What I'm hoping to do, if it's possible, is take out maybe a stud or two in front of all these plates that are on the border of these stands. I've placed all of the tiles down. You can see if I just show you here, I have just a couple of these lining the surface, and then this just lays right on top of it, and it clicks in to place just like so. This is not the final design, obviously. I have tons of corners showing. I think I found a better idea. Instead of replacing all of those tiles, since this is one layer up, it's one piece up off the ground, I will just place either 1x2 or maybe 2x2 tiles. I thought the most confusing part of this build was going to be figuring out how to get these studs to attach to each other at the right angle so it lays flush on the build, but I think it's a really good start so far. So, here's the progress I've made on these stands. You can see the design has changed since the last time I showed you the progress. What I did is I raised the back up a little bit. The first row is the same, but then I raised up the second row. I realized it wasn't as tall, and it was very low to the ground. It wasn't as high as it needed to be. So I raised it up a couple studs, and it looks really good so far. I'm going to probably do one or two more, not have it too extra. I don't want too much on there because I don't want it to be top heavy on this side and just have too much detail on one side versus the other side. So I think I have a pretty good design going here so far, but I'm using just a method where it goes up by like 2 studs and then or 2/3 of a stud and then a full stud, and then you can see I'm doing that. And then what I'm going to plan on doing is taking these corners and building like a rock structure that goes up to the sides, and same on this side, and then that's where we have the statues on either corner of the build. The design of it is fairly simple. It's just increasing by 1 stud every other layer. So the first layer is, I think, 2/3 of a stud tall, and then the second layer is a stud tall, and then the third layer is 2 studs tall. You can see I have the bricks holding the structure up, and then it'll just be like that for the rest of the build. Like I said, I'll probably do 1 or 2 more layers of the stand, and I think after that we'll have a very nice build for the stands, and then we can move on to the throne. So what I'm working on right now is I'm working on these pillars right here. You can see the model right now I have. These are probably all the stands I'm going to make. Well, to this height at least. I'm going to do some editing on it, make the floor rise up a little bit, just do some editing on the actual design. So here is the final product, guys. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Last you guys saw, I had the stands done, just this middle part, and then off camera I added in these rock structures on the sides to fill in the sides and just give it, you know, a more natural look. You know, like the actual stands in the movie aren't like, you know, built, they're sort of like carved out of rocks, it looks like. So I wanted to add that feature in, and then I added just 2 posts back here. I may do some work in the future on those. I think I kind of like the basic design of them. It just sort of gives the build a feeling of it does have a roof, and you know, we just can't see it. You can see if I zoom out, here's the entire build, and then these stands are back there. I don't know what angle I want them at. I have a lot of flexibility in where they go because the whole entire thing on the bottom is just plates, so it does have a lot of flexibility on what direction I can turn it. But for now, I think this is an okay idea. This will be a 2-part episode because I cannot do all of this in one episode. But next episode we are going to finish off these stands and then add the tiles on the outside to give it, you know, a better look. You can see where the 2 builds meet, and I do want to make it look a little better. It doesn't look that good right now. Believe it or not, though, there is still work to be done. So let's get right back into working. Well, guys, 2 episodes into the series, we have all of this done. I think it looks fantastic. The progress has been amazing. Just for, you know, a week or 2, we've all this done so far. Hopefully, we get even more done next week. I'm really excited to see where this project will go in the next couple weeks. But this week we finished the stands. We started this episode just having about 3/4 of the build done, and now we have all of it done, and also the stands. So next week we will work on 2 of these statues that will go in both of these corners, and also the pillars that go on the sides of the stands, and possibly even start the throne. It looks really good. I'm very happy with the progress we have made this week. I can't wait to see where this series goes. I'm very excited for it. And with that being said, let's get right into the end credits. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Building Exegol in LEGO. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to give the video a like and comment down below what you thought of the build so far. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.